Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. Slagio. I want to get into last night. I was on TikTok, just looking what was, just hopping on TikTok, seeing what was going on, keeping up to date with current events, and there was a whole bunch of things going on, whole bunch of of these TikToks, that kept seeing on my For You page, man. It was a lot, and I just saved a lot, and I'm just doing a lesson over them, man. All right, so this is a
terrifying list of
TikToks, Then I'm gonna break down some scriptures, and I'm gonna end it off. So here you go.
Weird and unexplained things happening all over the U.S. this past week.
People were sleeping at 4 a.m. The first powerful 7.8 magnitude quake rocked southeastern Turkey and northern Syria.
12 sinkholes have opened up in Turkey.
It has happened again for the third day in a row and the fourth time in just 9 days. The United States has shot down an unidentified high-flying object.
Footage of the UFO shot down over Alaska.
An unidentified cylindrical object caused a fighter jet to malfunction as they came closer to shooting it down.
Black one.
Alien sighting in Australia.
Holy crap. What do you want? What the fuck? Why are you walking away?
Terrifying list of
Might know why the United States intentionally blew up the East Palestine, Ohio derailment. In my previous part 1, we discussed whether it was sabotage by Russia or China. Could this have intentionally been the United States? And if it was, it had to be for a really good reason. Here you can clearly see the particles getting into the mesosphere and atmosphere. This person lives in Canton, and you can see the acid rain coming down on cars. And we really have people saying that the water and air is good. Listen.
Water is good, the air is good, but we understand people have concerns.
Well, Governor, why, if the air is good and the water is good, why are residents saying, here's some of the quotes, I don't see birds in my property anymore. The rivers have dead fish in them and worms.
Here we could see that the train derailed exactly over 2 drainage pipes, which dump right into the Ohio River. And it gets even weirder. Here is the exact movie on Netflix released not too long ago in East Palestine describing the same situation.
Calling it the airborne toxic event.
It won't come this way.
Also in my previous video, Buffalo recorded a 3.8 magnitude earthquake, first time in 40 years, but I was there and it did not feel like an earthquake. I even took a poll on the internet and 60% of people did not feel like it was an earthquake. It was more of a sonic boom. We got to try and connect the dots here, and starting back with that Chinese spy balloon on January 28th, it entered Alaska, it came in, it was noticed by the United States February 1st in Billings, Montana. February 3rd was the derailment of the East Palestine train and the chemical burn. February 6th was the date of the earthquake, 3 days after the Palestine derailment. 3 days after that, we had a new flying object over Alaska that was shot down. Next day, another UFO shot down. And then on February 12th, the 4th flying object was shot down. And for those of you in Buffalo, this is a sonic boom, and this is exactly what I heard in Buffalo. This just exploded. I know this is a little off topic, and you're going to have to stay for part 3, but Korea's nuclear fusion reactor was 7 times hotter than the sun for 30 seconds. This was September 13th, 2022. Exactly 3 months after that, Indonesia had a massive earthquake. December 2022, a study in California did the same exact thing. Nuclear fusion had the atom hotter than the sun.
These objects have been flying over us. We don't know what they are. What's different is that we've started shooting them down.
Buffalo, actually United States shooting down a UFO, intentionally releasing chemicals into the atmosphere to protect us from an alien extraterrestrial invasion. I might know why the
half a teaspoon of baking soda.
News residents are being told to stay inside and close their windows and shelter in place again. This is a whole nother story. This is happening every single day. This time, a major hazardous material processor had a fire and explosion, and this is right outside Boston, Massachusetts that this happened. So we are seeing another chemical event, and this was a cocktail of hazardous materials, and this business that this happened at is right on the edge of a major river as well. So this looks very familiar. We keep seeing this scene over and over, chemical attack after chemical attack, and it seems like America's critical infrastructure is being hit, and it also seems like we are getting prepared for a chemical or biological attack that could be coming very soon, or we could just see these attacks ramp up, and eventually, before you know it, every major city, every other city is just contaminated. All right, we saw a hazardous material train crash outside Detroit a couple days ago. All right, this keeps happening, and a shelter-in-place order was in place for Florida yesterday as well, parts of Florida. So let's get into the details here. It says trailers filled with combustible materials catch fire at Clean Harbor site in Braintree. And these trailers are literally hazardous material trailers. They have markings all over them, and they're just filled with barrels and barrels of toxic chemicals, and they've just magically lit on fire in the middle of the night and caused a massive hazardous material fire again right outside of Boston. All right, and you can see here Clean Harbors, it says, is an American provider of environmental and industrial services, including hazardous waste disposal for companies including Fortune 500 companies, small waste generators, and federal, state, provincial, and local government. So this company is like the conglomerate of all the hazardous waste for all the other companies, okay? All the other companies send their hazardous waste to Clean Harbors and expect them to deal with it. So this is the perfect place to hit for a massive fire or chemical attack, because they have dozens of different types of hazardous materials here, and they were even saying that in the same trailer. And they're saying maybe these materials were even magically reacting with each other, and that's what caused this fire. News residents are being told to
a chemical suit because today we're dealing with a very dangerous toxic element known as fluoride. And in order to handle fluoride, you have to be in a protective suit. Although everybody is exposed to fluoride on a daily basis. Folks out there who are watching, they might think this is overkill, but it turns out, you know, the chemical weapons used in Syria not too long ago? Well, according to the British press, a raw material used to make chemical weapons was allowed to be exported by the British government to Syria. Well, if you look at the press report, that raw material was nothing other than sodium fluoride. The same stuff that's rat poison? Yeah, exactly. It's also the same stuff that's put into products such as toothpaste, mouthwash, and even a baby water product that we're going to test right here on camera. But it's just important for people to note that you can take sodium fluoride, you can use that to make a deadly nerve gas poison known as sarin gas, which was actually created by Nazi scientists. That's amazing that it's in our water supply and it's in all kinds of prescription medications. And even since 1939, when fluoride was first introduced into the water system, it was introduced to concentration camps because it calmed people down and it made them lethargic, and they were able to control people better and reduce their aggression, making them docile. And this is a pretty quick test, but it does take a few seconds, Ed. So this test is fairly precise, so we can actually do exactly what we want here. Now we're going to take the fluoridated water. It's called nursery water, and we're going to take a very precise pipetter. The pipette. We're going to take 10 milliliters of water. I'm sorry. It's probably hard for you to see there. This is a tough job. All right, actually, we're going to take 8 milliliters and then 2 milliliters of a reagent. I feel sorry for the guys who have to actually carry and hold that toxic fluoride in those suits all day, dumping it into the public water system. I know, exactly. This is a tough job. So now we're going to take, over here, these is our reagent, which is going to help us detect the actual fluoride level in this product. So, some help with that, buddy? Yes, please. Thank you. Now, this reagent is safe for you to handle because it doesn't contain any fluoride. Here we go, 2 milliliters. Thank you. Into our sample. There's our sample. So now we're going to take our sample and we're going to run the test on that. There we go. We're going to put it in a fluoride detection meter. We're going to press read. There we go. Wow. Over 2 parts per million is what this meter is saying. Over 2 parts per million. Flashing means it's over 2 because 2 is the detection limit of this meter. Now this product, this baby water product, says that it contains 1 part per million of fluoride, sodium fluoride. This meter is reading 2. Who knows? Maybe this meter is reading too much, or maybe there's too much in there. We don't know for sure until we do more tests. But they both agree that there is sodium fluoride in this baby water product, and it is well known that sodium fluoride is an ingredient that can be used to make nerve gas. Wearing a chemical suit, that's because today we're dealing.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, right? But we're going to look at these chemical spills, right? This is Ohio, right? This is the one in Ohio, the derail, right? Look at it from a distance and you see this is what it looked like when it exploded, right? You had a spill, nitric acid spill in Tucson, Arizona. This is all the hazmat incident right here. You can see them in suits right here, right? And now you got this Chicago warehouse fire, right? Let's get it. Let's do it like this right here. Wow, look at this massive fire. Wow. You see it right? Oh, this better. This is a better picture. Look, right? You got that Chicago warehouse, right? Now you got this Carolina derailment. Right here, you got train derailment in Columbia, South Carolina, right? Spartanburg County right here. So that was that, right? So I went to looking for spills, right? So I just put chemical spills right here in 2023, right? So I get this right here in Virginia. I don't know when this happened, right? Train wreck, all right.